A very good evening to our audience today. Thank you for turning up for today's session. My name is Jasmine and I'm your moderator for tonight's career webinar, Triumph Amidst Different Crises. Today, we had a privilege of listening to three of our speakers from diverse backgrounds and experiences, but all shared the common courage to venture into this career. You know, George Eliot once said, "It's never too late to be what you might have been." Whether you are just starting out in your career or you have been working for several years, our speakers are here to assure you that it's never too late to make a change and find the path that truly resonates with you. Before I introduce my guest today, may I request that you type in your questions in the Q&A button and the panelists will get to it during our Q&A segment. Do take note that we are live on Zoom and Facebook. So if you are watching us, please share it with your friends or family, be it in or out of the industry, whom may be interested in this career. Okay, I'm excited to introduce three of our speakers for tonight. Tonight we have Johan Ko and Elin Chee, Phillip's Financial Services Manager. And we also have Bryan Tan, our very own Wealth Manager. And firstly, we'd like to introduce Johan. Next slide, please. He started out his career initially in a bank, and after gaining the confidence that he needed, Johan moved on to a single provider insurance company and soon realized the limitation that he had. Moving to Phillip wasn't an easy decision for him, but he courageously made this move so that he can better serve his clients. Let us have Johan here to introduce himself a little bit more. Now, Johan, unmute yourself.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Johan. So today I'll be focusing a bit more on my experience with the insurance company, partly because the banking portion was quite some time back. But if any of y'all felt that it's more relevant and you want to find out more about it, feel free to ask questions in the Q&A regarding my banking experience. I'll try to answer them to the best of my abilities, but as I mentioned, it's a bit foreign, it's a bit a while back, so I'll do my best. All right. Anyway, after spending about a year or so with the bank, I decided to make a jump to a direct insurer. So from there, I spent the first year pretty much focused on personal sales, and then I decided to progress to the management route. So the next couple of years was actually split between coaching, personal sales, and in most particular point is the lead management. So my previous team was very focused in roadshows as our main lead generation tools, especially prior to COVID. This was a very big portion of our day-to-day, and a bulk of my effort was really placed into securing cheaper and better locations for roadshows, as well as to improve the quality of the shows. So shortly after COVID came along, this provided me with a very unique opportunity to experience the massive change in the industry, where business was changed from face-to-face purely to a hybrid model. So today, I hope that I'll be able to tap onto my personal experience to share with anyone who's considering this industry. So feel free to ask me any questions. All right, back to you, Jasmine.
Thank you, Johan, for sharing. Now that we know a little bit more about Johan, let me introduce you to our next speaker, Elin. Elin, she dived straight into the financial industry after her graduation with a reputable insurer and decided that she wants to expand her services to her clients. She decided to take a leap of faith to join Phillip, as Phillip offer the wide services that she is looking for. So Elin, do unmute yourself to say hi to our audience here.
Hello, everyone. I know that many of you are actually curious to know more about this career and our personal experience of all the blood, sweat, and tears in this journey. But before that, let me introduce myself again. My name is Elin. I'm a firm believer in the importance of early financial planning to live a meaningful life. So I spent 3 years at PhillipCapital, and I'm proud to actually achieve my first phase of my goal in the financial industry, which is having my CHFC and applying what I have learned using the robust platform of PhillipCapital. And I'm also honored to be a back-to-back international convention qualifier, a testimonial to my dedication and commitment to my profession. And beside work, I actually love to dance. Yeah, back to you, Jasmine.
All right, thank you, Elaine, for your short introduction. It's really good to hear about the fun side of you as well. Without any delay, let me introduce you to our last speaker for tonight. As you can see here, the next slide, please. Okay, Bryan used to be from the water, oil, and gas engineer company for more than 8 years. After joining the finance industry, he found a great satisfaction in pursuing his career, which aligns with his passion and interest. Bryan, would you like to say hi to the audience as well?
Oh yeah, hi everybody. Hey, thank you, Jasmine, for having us here. Well, I'm Bryan Tan. It's an honor to be here sharing my career experience with you all. As you can see, my background and experience is different from Johan and Elaine. So maybe some of y'all might be in a similar situation as me 5 years ago. So I will touch on some of the consideration and why I decided with my career switching. So far, I'm doing fine in the industry and I'm happy that I managed to achieve some small result and recognitions from the company. I hope my sharing will give you some takes away, deeper thoughts on your career path and understanding of our industry. By the way, I love soccer. So I love both playing and watching it. Yeah, you can reach out to me for a relaxed fireside. Yeah, right over here.
Thank you, Bryan. I believe that we can all agree that you didn't just receive, you didn't just achieve some result, but you achieved quite a tremendous result during your past 5 years with Phillip. Let's get on to the session. We shall start off maybe with a poll to profile our audience a little bit, to get to know our audience as well. We will flash the poll right now. If you are on Facebook, you can comment in the chat box with your answer. If you are on Zoom, you just click on your answer. We shall wait a few minutes for the result to come in. All right. Okay. So which one do you all think that it will get the highest vote? Bryan, what do you think? Which one will be the highest?
Okay, fresh grad. Yeah.
Fresh grad. Okay. Okay, I think okay, we still have result coming in. Okay. Let's see whether you are right or wrong, Bryan. Okay, let's have our result right now. Can you all see the result? Can you see the result?
Oh, I can't see.
Okay, no problem. Then I'll just read out the result. Okay, so actually, for this poll number 1, which life stage are you currently at? Number 1 will be fresh grad, unsure which career to pursue. Number 2 will be feeling stagnant in the current career. Number 3, keen to explore other career opportunity, includes the finance industry. And number 4 will be existing practitioner and they are so keen to explore. Actually, the highest vote that we have will be keen to explore other career opportunity, includes the financial industry. So wow, surprisingly, we have 0% for our fresh grad and also 0% that is feeling stagnant. But of course, let's move on. This is our audience for tonight. So most of them are actually looking for career opportunities at this moment. Okay, so many of you, since you are facing this issue, I believe that, today, as you participate this webinar, the life crisis, we will also want to hear from our panelists' experiences as well. The life crisis that, okay, maybe the next slide, please. The life crisis that they face themselves. So can we have Elin to, share your perspective on this question? Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Jasmine. Actually, after completing my studies in marketing management, I actually find myself facing a first job crisis. As I weigh the decisions between pursuing a corporate job or just trying my hand at the insurance industry. Although the crisis I had wasn't as overwhelming as a midlife crisis, but it was still it still had some challenges and uncertainty. I have previous experience working as a personal assistant to an insurance agent during my studies, which actually gave me an insight to like the day-to-day responsibility of an agent. So which I actually find quite interesting, and also there's a lot of potential to grow. However, I'm also drawn to the stability of a corporate job in terms of income. I applied to a few marketing jobs and the starting pay isn't what I was hoping for. So I also had a fear of failure, such as concern about my ability to speak well, or even to actually provide for my parents. So it was actually tempting to fall back onto a corporate job, as it would actually provide me a solution to all these concerns. But however, right, I actually questions myself whether the start pay of the corporate job, does it reflect my true worth? So after speaking to a few professionals in the financial industry, I actually decided to give it a go. Then I plan to probably just give it 1 to 2 years. If it doesn't work out, I will always able to return back to the corporate route. So that's all from me. What about you, Johan?
Right, thank you, Elin. So for myself, essentially, there were 2 crises during my financial career, each at one of my different position. So for the first one, it was during my banking position. So I started to realize that I needed to the requirements to hit the minimum sales target, and it's very product specific, and it gets very monotonous, and there's very, very little focus on holistic planning. So all this added with the growing target, long hours, and decreasing commission rates, the career became less and less attractive over time. So after some consideration, I decided to jump over to a tech insurer. So in this position, I spent time and effort building a practice and a team. I would say I enjoyed modest success at the start. So as I progressed, however, there were some shortcomings that were starting to become more and more glaring as I progressed. On the sales front, I lost cases to more competitive quotes from competitors. And I started to realize that I could not meet the needs of my more affluent clients, especially once I've done their basic coverage. It's a very simple fact to them that like insurance product could not give them the returns that they are desiring. So this essentially cut off my client engagement and the journey I have with them. Unless something major happens to them, like for instance, their wife giving birth, or perhaps someone close to them have some major incident or CI, critical illness, I'm sorry. Essentially, there was nothing much I can do with them. So on the management front, I started to see my career endpoint, which realistically speaking, as a manager at that point of time, I felt that I would be stuck in that position for quite a significant amount of time before, if I'm lucky, progress to become a director. The reason why I say lucky is because I started to realize that many of my peers who were in the same company or even in other companies started having issues promoting due to various reasons, as there was some vested interest with their director and themselves. So a lot of them started just diversifying out of the business and started to do their own trades, doing their own sidelines and businesses on the side. So it got me started thinking that, what is my options and what do I want in this career? Am I really going to diversify and start doing my own business as well? Or should I just really rethink my options and focus back into this career and then give it my all? So basically that was my 2 crises. So how about you, Bryan? You're the elders among us, so maybe you can share some wisdom with us.
Thanks, Johan, for letting me all to know I'm the most elderly here. Well, I'm a mid-career switcher. Yeah, I come from the MNC company in a department covering water, oil and gas, and engineering solutions. It's a drastic changes for me. First, from engineering to finance. Second, from supporting corporate clients to several individual customers. And third, from employees with a regular monthly salary to self-employment, right, with those fluctuating monthly income. So you can see it's quite a drastic changes on that. So what prompts me to relook my career, I have come to a standstill in my work advancement. There were less and less recognition on the effort and the result which my team and I have contributed. Likewise, it has leans towards other factors, beyond results and effort that will be recognized. So I think this is probably very common in the corporate world, where you all might come across similar problem in your current organizations. So anyway, it creates a lot of disappointment, and I dislike such incorrect advancement culture and practices. So this is a crisis for me, where I have to track myself daily to work. So I have to make a change in my career. I was then thinking, I should opt for like similar roles elsewhere, or venture into something different. So I start to explore, the job market, which interests me. So my interest at that point of time was education and investment. So in fact, I did send a few applications to MOE, but sadly they never respond back to me. But back then, webinar was not popular. So in fact, I come across Phillip career seminar in Job Street. Yeah, and I attended it. So the seminar is rather straightforward and dry. Information, standard in those PowerPoint, and mainly covering those commission structure and entry requirement. Yeah. So after attending the seminar, I went around checking the industrial peers, and with lots of consideration, research, and most importantly, the support from my family, I decided to have a leap of faith to make the switch. For info, I'm a family man with children, so it was not an easy decision to put myself to a new industry. So I do give myself some timeline for the new challenge, and thankfully, I don't need to look back since then. Yeah.
Wow, we are so thankful for that seminar. If not, you will not be here. Okay, so after hearing from panelists, it's very certain that they have a lot of considerations before joining this career. I'm pretty sure that among you, right, there's definitely a lot of concerns and thoughts before you really want to embark on this career. How about we launch our next poll to see to really have a gauge like what is the concerns that our audience might have. Okay, let's launch the poll right now. Okay, so if you are here on Zoom, you can just click on your answer. If you are live on Facebook, you can just put your answer in the chat box below. Okay, we just wait for a few minutes more for the results to come in. Wow. I can see, wow, a very obvious winner over here. Okay, so let's have the result in right now. Okay, so for this poll number 2, what is the concern that you have for this career? Number 1, difficulty with finding leads. Number 2, no stable income. Number 3, highly competitive environment. Number 4, fear of rejection. Number 5, steep learning curve. So we have a very obvious winner, which is difficulty with finding leads. So I believe that a lot of them, before they join this career, they definitely have this thought that it's so difficult to find leads. Thank you everyone for participating once again. Not to worry, I'm pretty sure that our speakers has faced the same issue when starting out in this career. Let us hear from them once again. What are the challenges and setback when they pursue this career, while pursuing this career? Okay, so can we have our first speaker to start right now? Anyone want to volunteer to start first? Okay, how about Elin? You start first.
Yeah, okay. Since people are talking about the leads thing, they have issue finding it, right? So when I joined a reputable insurance company, I faced challenges due to the stereotyping associated with being a financial advisor. So many of my friends, even some of my relatives avoid me, when they found out about my career choice. So as I believe you also experience situation where acquaintance who become financial advisor who reach out to you randomly for coffee or meetings, especially right after you graduate. So, if you throw a rock in the public, right after you graduate, you probably hit an FA. So it can be quite challenging, if you feel that, oh, what if I don't have my own warm market to close kind of thing. Then additionally, I also struggled with fear of rejection in my role of financial advisor. It's actually quite sad to face rejection from potential clients, sometimes your own friends, and sometimes it actually left me feeling quite depressed. Furthermore, the uncertainty of income on a monthly basis was a constant source of worry for me. Probably that's enough for me. What about you, Johan? What's the challenge that you actually have faced?
All right, thanks, Elin. So maybe my perspective will be more towards from a management point of view, since that was the last part of my career, but maybe I share both on the personal side as well. So a lot of my personal and even management focus was to acquire leads. So I think pretty similar with what people are worried about. My main concern or my main fear when it came to that was that it was a lot of operating costs for someone who's new to the trade. And these costs don't usually represent any point of return. Maybe a bit of context, because previously I did a lot of roadshows and a lot of like lead generation campaigns, all of which is particularly quite expensive for people to take up. So when I joined the industry, I didn't really want to focus purely on warm, or should I say I wanted to avoid warm, because truth be told, there's always a stigma in the industry for people who are trying to meet your own warm market. So I didn't want my operations to revolve purely around them. So I took up a lot of roadshow slots, participated in many leads campaigns. All of it added up to a very significant amount of money, especially for someone who was new to the industry. Then the cherry on top of this entire situation would be that the success didn't really come very quickly. So I kind of operated on a deficit for a while. So, and it's an ongoing cost that doesn't scale down until you start to hit a break-even point where your pool of clients is significant enough. And then that's where you start a lot more profitable. But it's a very long journey to that point. Yeah, so that's pretty much for me. So maybe let me pass it back to Bryan.
Oh, well, personally, I face many challenges and setbacks. Yeah, but for leads wise, I think in Phillip shouldn't be too concerned because there's branches and all these, they're walking client and existing those Phillip's clients that you can tap on. Likewise, I want to highlight one of the setback which I feel could have been avoided is awareness. Yeah, the awareness to people around me knowing that I am in this industry with PhillipCapital. So after joining the industry, going through the various training and learning, I didn't start any digital profile or marketing. So after gaining all my experience with my client through those events, seminar, road shows, and walk-in customer, I start to have confidence reaching out to people around me and friends around me. But sadly, I encountered many feedback indicated that they wasn't aware I could support their wealth and financial planning, and they have engaged with others recently. So it's rather disappointing. Probably I could have do this way ahead. Yeah. So these are all the missing opportunity by not creating an awareness, to the people around me. And probably due to lack of confidence or feeling those paiseh when I first start out in this career. Yeah.
Well, I can see that the industry is definitely not a bed of roses for everyone. And also, Johan, just curious, how do you actually overcome these challenges that you face?
Okay, so I wouldn't say I really maybe I share what I thought about, what I focused about when I was considering where to go. So when I was looking around, the key focus was to find a place where I can build a team with, while minimizing all these issues that I faced previously. So the place need able to firstly fully cover my client's financial journey. So means that the product range and most importantly more robust investment vehicles. And secondly, it's the costing and the leads generation portion. So after searching around, I landed with Phillip, and I felt that it satisfied most of my criteria. So maybe I'll just go through it point by point. So in terms of product, with the access to much more insurers compared to a tight agency model, firstly, I gave my clients much better quotations and offerings in terms of the range of products. In terms of investments, I think it's pretty straightforward that what we can offer here at Phillip is a lot better than what a direct insurer can offer. So this definitely is more in line with the sophisticated client base, who are actually pretty okay with risk, but they want higher and better returns in return for that. So I think one very key side note I want to share with everybody is that once I became on board with Phillip, the stigma is pretty different. I say there's no longer this stigma of like the standard insurance kind of point of view. So many of my warm clients, even though I've been in the industry for many years, still didn't approach me or is not willing to do business with me. But when I switched over to Phillip, I was quite surprised that a lot of them are quite receptive, where they will actually reach out to me, ask me about market updates, and started to open up and wanted to put a bit of money with me to do some form of investment. As for the lead gen, the costing portion, in Phillip, there's pretty much a lot, everything is done by the support structure here. So there are a lot of avenues, like I think Bryan mentioned just now, from the branches, from the in-house leads, from the Phillip accounts, the leads from the Phillip account holders, webinars, and even social media. So all of these are heavily subsidized or even like completely covered by the company. So when you compare the operating costs to the industry, especially to like my previous company, which is tight agency, is really operating at a fraction of the cost, or even just cannot be compared because there's no cost at all. Right. So yeah, that's pretty much for me. Let me pass it to Bryan again.
Okay. In any career or industry, be it glamorous or non-glamorous career that you do for a living, we must take pride and be proud in what we're doing. So by having this belief, I managed to overcome my initial setback. Now, financial industry is a need-based industry. So any individual or family who have built up some savings, they will naturally explore on the options in the market to park their wealth. So this is where you come in, to provide our services and solutions based on their suitability. And any responsible individual and family, they also want to protect themselves adequately. So this is where, again, we come in to plan for their health and life risk. So insurance will then be required. So naturally, as you serve more and more people, your confidence and competency will naturally build up. So referral from your client will also start to become common. And we have to accept we can't serve everybody. So it's okay to have rejection along the way. We just have to accept it gracefully and move on to the next customer. So when you put in your commitment, effort, and hard work, chance you'll be well. So all the results will naturally come along together. Yeah. How about you, Elin? How you overcome your setback?
Oh, I guess not as extreme as you guys. I think mine is a lot of mental block. Like despite the inedible stereotyping associated with being a financial advisor, I actually chose to focus on improving my knowledge instead. By value adding to every interaction, whether or not the person became my clients. So when meeting someone for coffee or meal, I strive to actually ensure that they have a positive takeaway from our conversation. Overcoming the fear of rejection, it can be, going through quite a lot of trainings and also guidance. Thankfully, thanks to my mentor, that's why I emphasize on finding the importance of finding good mentor before entering the industry. My current mentor actually provide me with a lot of joint field work opportunities and also training, which actually helped me to boost my confidence to meet clients individually. So although like the uncertainty of the income can be really challenging in the initial first 2 months of being the financial advisor, but building confidence and knowledge can lead to a natural income growth. And one of the advantage of our career is actually the potential for building passive income. So over time, as you grow your client base and you establish yourself in the industry, your income can actually become more stable and actually include passive income stream. So it's important, right, to actually have a long-term perspective and also understand that the effort and dedication that you put in, earlier on can actually lead to a rewarding and financially stable career in the future. Just like what Bryan shared earlier on. Back to you, Jasmine.
Yeah, okay. Like it seems like finding leads is not just one of the issue that financial consultants or financial advisor face. Definitely I concluded from all your sharing that the rejection is also one huge issue that a lot of financial advisor face. Thank you so much, Elin, for your heartfelt sharing. And after hearing so much difficulties and struggles of this career, let us look at the plus side of this industry. How about we start off with like our last poll? We start our last poll to actually evaluate like the plus points of this industry. Like you may choose more than one option for this poll. So yeah, please if you are on Zoom, again, click on the answer right now. If you are on Facebook, live on Facebook, you can just put your answers in the chat box below. Okay, we'll just give it a few minutes for the result to come in. All right. Okay. So what attracts you guys to join this industry? Maybe I want to hear from Elin. Like, what's the plus point that is for you?
Definitely is work-life balance,
Yeah.
like I do like to dance, I have a dog too, so I actually like to spend a lot of time with my dog. Yeah,
What kind of
and my
dance you
family.
do?
The dance that you
Hip hop.
that you do in the club.
Okay. Now we know you really party. Okay, so how about we end this poll right now to see let's see the result. Okay, I think there's two options that is pretty similar. So I think a lot of you guys think that having no income ceiling and work-life balance is definitely one of the few plus points of this career. It's interesting to know that the expectation that our crowd have for this career path. For this career, right? And there's so many companies out there. You might be thinking, why us? Why Phillip? I just so maybe we would like to share on this point as well. The next slide, please. Okay, so why choose Phillip? Bryan, how about you give it a go?
Okay. Like I shared before, 5 years ago, when I've attended the what do you call it, seminar, from the job street, and then since then I've done my research, which I can show you why. Actually, next slide, please. Yeah, we can see from here. So these are the range of services and product that is offered by Phillip. So other than insurance, which is just one portion of our business, right? You can see there are multiple solutions we can offer to our client as well. I would say that you definitely won't be able to cover everything, but with all these, right, you're able to more comprehensive planning and approach for your customer. So by doing so, it will become a more holistic approach, based on your client risk tolerance and return expectations. So this part is very important. Yeah, likewise, not all company able to provide this. And so next slide, please. Yeah, as you can see from here, on all our partners. So thanks to our insurance partner department. Okay, they are able to reach out and partner with most of the insurance provider in Singapore. So with this we're able to provide a holistic comparison for our potential customer, which best suit their protections requirement. So I believe you all might have one or more policy from the above insurance company. Yeah. So this is one of the good approach on this planning that's already with Phillip's securities. Yeah, next slide, please.
Oh wow, hey, hold on. I just thinking like for you have so many products and services, right? Do you actually get overwhelmed by it? Like wow, so many things, like, or like it's actually better to have all these solutions? How about like you
Well,
can share a little bit more?
At the start, yes. Because when I was new, wow, you start to realize, wow, there's so much things to learn. But when slowly you gain your experience, it's good to have more, so that along the way there are insurers who will become more competitive, or they are certain age in their focus on their business area. So you just focus on one or few, then you're not able to provide comprehensive planning. Yeah. So in other words, you tend to shortchange your customer also due to your limitations. Yeah. So it's not quite a good planning. So with Phillip Security, you will not face this problem. And because of this, your client retention will be very high, and as well as those referral is common also, because they understand that you are serving them well, not just because of the high commission pertaining to a specific insurer, but you really plan and cater to their needs. So this is very important.
Yeah, okay, I totally agree. Thank you so much for giving us a deeper understanding of this career. After knowing why Phillip, right, I believe our audience might also want to know why choose the advisory practice. How about Elin, you can start by sharing like why you choose the advisory practice. Yeah, not
Okay,
yeah,
yes, yeah, sorry.
yes, no problem.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm gonna just like keep it like a quite a short one because they probably Bryan actually shared quite a lot of things regarding PhillipCapital and things like that. So maybe to shorten, I would say that because the TAP, right, actually we have a system whereby called the ease of doing business. So we establish a clear system in place that makes easy for the newcomers to understand the process here and integrate to the platform that we have. So you won't need to be stuck in a situation whereby you're not sure of what to do at different phase of your business, or you definitely do not want to be lost and not to know who to find help for. So, because we have so many different partners, so all this platform, all the systems are actually good for them. It will actually shorten the learning curve. Then this will actually save you a lot of time, so you can focus on your business and not to worry about the travel administrative work they can bring you. So second, right, is actually relatable mentorship. As you know, we are all from the same team. So, regardless which walk of life you are in right now, be it midlife, career crisis and all this, or even like in the terms of like switching industry or whatever. Yeah, we do have mentors in each team to actually resonate with you, as we also experience, what you have experienced not too long ago. We know how you feel. For me, I have been this line, from the time I graduate until now, probably it's like 4 or 5 years. So my memory is definitely still very fresh from the time I started. So the hard work and the grind that I put in through, I definitely wish that I have someone who was, kind of know how I feel, to be able to actually accurately pinpoint the root of the issue and be able to feel my pain. So even for yourself, once you have taken the courage to come on board with us, you will actually have the power to help people in future that are going through what you have been through right now. So lastly, to share again, why actually I came to Phillip, why I choose PhillipCapital. I know Bryan have gone through with you guys, so maybe I'll just make it like simple, give you a few scenario. So if every conversation with your clients or your friends is gonna be about insurance coverage, what why seems like to be insurance agent, typical. If I'm able to actually bring in maybe investment with insurance, what would I be like? Financial advisor, a banker. So what if I can speak to my clients, who is also a business owner? I'm able to speak to him at a business level, like employment benefit, business insurance, things like that, about cash flow, about loans. Since we also have provide services like that, even to a personal level, deeper into his personal planning, or even more than just insurance coverage, such as will writing, will planning or PA, and still able to deep dive, into investment for the clients to actually assess not just the unit trust. We all know that investment, right, is a very broad term base. Even unit trust is really mainly the subside of investment. So in Phillip, right, we're actually able to dive in even into bonds or managed account, stocks and all. With the knowledge and ability to procure so much solution for your clients will actually be able to differentiate you from other financial advisors out there. So in summary, why Phillip? Why tech? Because you're not restricted, and the empowerment that you get, will help you to differentiate yourself from your industry peers. So the rest, right, is entirely up to you and your own attitude. So other than that, maybe Johan can add on, what are the things that it makes him actually wanted to join tab of PhillipCapital.
All right. Thanks, Lynn. So I think my fellow colleagues has shared a lot about the strength of Phillip. So maybe from my perspective, let me just share some of the key differences between us and our competitors in the market. So prior to this, like I mentioned many times, been in industry as a agency leader. So on top of that, because I did the planning for all the roadshows and all the lead generation, I'm pretty familiar with all the costs involved. So lead generation will always be one of the top cost factors in people who are in this business, be it client servicing for warm market or cold lead generation through online lead generation or roadshows. And the common practice in the market is always the cost will always be passed down to the agents who are running the business. So if any of you all have been in industries, you all will roughly know how much one roadshow costs. A simple roadshow with not much fancy additions at a pretty middle location, I'll say like the super prime, like in the middle of a big shopping centers, usually will go about $100 a slot. The better ones maybe 200. I have seen roadshow costs, for the very, very big, very mega roadshows, they call it, with all the bouncy castles, the balloons to give to the kids and all this, easily run to $300-400 per slot for agent. So all this costing in a week can add up to maybe $1,000 to $2,000 for each agent. So over here in Phillip, the company is invested in the business along with you. So I'll take a live example. So most recently we had a roadshow at Suntec. So Suntec, it's not a cheap place to do a roadshow. The costing is usually about $200. Over here, everything included, setup costs, free gifts, and the free gifts that we are given is pretty significant. It's not just like a balloon. We are able to give like Mr. Corona vouchers, and all these costs are not borne by the agents. Agents have to just fork out a $30 token sum. The reason for that is more for commitment rather than to actually spread the cost. So this is just a very clear example of how he is willing to invest into the business along with you. So in other points of support, we can talk about things like the difference in Phillip is that we have a corporate support staff, which is very different from what I've experienced in the agency side. So like things like marketing and branding, back in the days, our own page was developed by ourselves. It's only cleared by compliance. It wasn't really supported by them. Over here in Phillip, our own page, our own branding is done for us. If you need the marketing team to come in and help to do any design work on it, feel free to reach out to them. They are very happy to help us. Opportunities to be featured in the media, to be featured in Phillip webinar, where you can showcase your skills and acquire new clients. At the same time, you're actually building a very firm branding for yourself. You can, when people see my agent is featured in the newspaper or my agent is giving a talk online, the whole impression that you give out is totally different from what an insurance agent is typically going to give out. So this is a very long-lasting impact. It doesn't only help sales, it helps your future career development. So last but not least, we have physical branches. We have, in particular, tab, we have a physical branch location. So why is this important? firstly, it's a very good prospecting ground. You know, people always say like, hey, I go bank, I can go to a branch. I can work at the branch, people got walk in. It's the same for us over here. But on top of that, you know, in this age where I think online scams are so prevalent, people are worried, you know, some guy just reach out to me, or I just met some guy at the roadshow, you know, how legit are they? You know, with a physical branch, you know, you can just invite the client down. Once security, they want to have confidence. So when you have something like that, you know, they come down, you know, there's this level of confidence with a physical branch. People won't know how legit you are. You know? There has to be some form of legitimacy when you have a physical branch. Other than that, we also do many corporate employee programs. So this, you know, we go into corporates, provide them with financial education, wellness programs, and many other activities for their employees. This provides with a very good access into their corporate structure. You know, usually you won't be able to go in and talk to employees there. And these employees most likely will avoid roadshows and avoid you in a normal setting. But once you're there, you know, with the confidence that the employers are the one bringing it in, they're actually very open to talk to you. And this also provides you a way to enter in to do transactions that's beyond just with the employees. We can talk about with the employer, talk about employee benefits, talk about succession planning, key man, buy, sell. A lot of things open up once you're able to go in. So all these are just some of the few reasons that I can share with you guys. You know, we have limited time today. So if you really want to dabble and find out in detail everything, you know, feel free to reach out to me. You can always have a chat over coffee. So yeah, over here. All right, so let me pass you back. Yeah.
Thank you to all our speakers for the insightful and such a detailed sharing. If you are looking to join a team that is dynamic and fun, the advisory practice definitely knows how to play hard and work hard. These are just some photos of them playing and working hard. Okay, so before we move on to our Q&A segment, if you are interested, we welcome you to connect to any of our panelists tonight. So you can catch them for a cup of coffee to get to know them better and to get to know their stories as well. So if you need to scan their QR is over here, their QR code. Okay, so moving on to our Q&A segment, let me pull out all these questions over here. Okay, so we have a question by Anonymous. Okay, since you are self-employed, how can Phillip support me in getting leads? So this is one of the questions. Anyone who would like to take it, I know that you guys already addressed this issue, but since our audience have some concern about it, maybe you can share a little bit more. Yeah.
Maybe I can take this question.
Okay.
Like I always do, I like to sum out in 3 points. 3 points. So the first, right, is actually we do have a branch like what Johan shared earlier on. So people can actually walk in and you can address inquiries, people opening account. So there's a difference between like a bank and even to us, like of course there's a difference. But usually when people come into our branch, right, they have an agenda in their mind, is to open an account, to ask about investment, because that's what PhillipCapital is good at. So this is one of the way that you can actually get your leads. Second, right, is actually we have a dating function. No, just kidding. Actually, we have a match me, right? Actually, to match you with the TR, which is our trading representative, right? Since they can't do anything, there's like more towards like doing insurance and stuff. So we get to match with them and we can help them to serve their clients, doing, giving them their insurance, covering their insurance need. The last, right, but not least, right, is actually building your personal branding. So for Phillip, right, they actually help us, today this webinar is also one of the things they do it for us to build our branding. And if you were to scan the QR code, you've probably seen our website as well. So these are all actually set up by PhillipCapital, at no cost at all to us. So by having these 3 things, right, it actually help you to actually generate out leads. People can actually know about you and things like that. So this has been ways that how I get more leads, cold leads for other than my own warm market from PhillipCapital. So any of y'all have anything to add on?
I think due to time constraint, we will just move on to the next question. Okay, so for career switch, how do you actually prepare yourself? Yeah, this is another question that we have.
I'll take this. I'll take this.
Okay.
Since I think it seems we are the only one who was a career switching.
Yeah.
Okay, I will say that the support from your family is the utmost important, both financially and mentally. So what I mean by financially, you should have some savings, to cover your expenses for at least 6 months or longer, because self-employment as a start, it will be tough where on financially as well, because your income will not come in immediately. Okay, and there will be a time where you need to undergo training to build your competency before you are really ready to serve your client. And also mentally means, right, nobody in your family should demoralize you during your transition period. So they should constantly give you encouragement till you succeed. And probably you might meet friends, who demoralize you, ask you, hey, why you make such a change? And I'll probably give you cold shoulder, realizing that you joined this industry and is concerned that you reach out to them for business. So this is a common thing you might encounter, but this should give you more motivation to prove them wrong. Yeah, I would say this utmost is still your you make the switches is for yourself and your family. So their support ultimately will make a big difference to you.
Yeah, totally agree. Thank you, Bryan, for sharing as well. Okay, so we have maybe our last question before we end tonight's session. So the question that will be, do I need to have basic knowledge of financial market to be eligible? Yeah.
All right, let me take this then, since my peers have taken the other two.
Yeah.
Okay, I won't lie, it will be good to have a bit of base knowledge, but over here in Phillip, there's a lot of training programs that even when you first join us, there's the onboarding program that will prepare you for what you need to know. And usually, this kind of thing is an ongoing training and learning process. You won't be able to learn everything at one shot. So we will also provide like continuous training and even mentor shadowing, where you'll be able to be followed by a senior at the initial phase of your career. So this will help a lot of the newcomers, especially those who are not within the career. I would say even people who have already been in this industry, stepping over, it might be a bit different from what you're used to. Having this support will make it a lot easier for you. That being said, I would think even if you have no prior knowledge, with the right attitude, put in the effort to learn, it's not going to be very hard. All right. Jasmine, you are muted.
Jasmine, you're unmuted.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Thank you all for all the questions tonight. We apologize if we can't answer all your questions. Before we end this session, so can we have our speakers to give their final tip for the audience here? Anyone would like to start this first?
Okay, I will go first. Means I'm the fresh grad 5 years ago. So in summary, right, for those who actually feel lost or confused about their career path as a fresh grad, it's important, right, to actually remember that feeling confused and scared is normal, because our education system might not have actually prepared us to know, what is the right or wrong career choice. So however, being young, right, we have the advantage back then 5 years ago. Yeah. So we have a long journey ahead of us. Instead of dwelling over being confused and stuff, let's focus on building your knowledge and also your own value. So this will actually give you a competitive advantage no matter which path you ultimately choose. So that's from me. Johan, you want to take on?
All right. So for me, what I will share is that my one key takeaway from after experiencing this industry in multiple fronts, I think it's very important to consider your career path and progression path before you make a decision where to go. rather than, just making a very impulsive decision at the start, like just going whichever you feel like, the first one you go is the right one. I think it's good to really go and weigh down your options and really consider the ins and outs, the opportunities and the potential obstacles that may come along with each particular choice. Take the time, learn about each front of the industry, talk to people, in the industry. This will really go a long way. Taking a leap of faith, taking a leap of faith will always be quite difficult, and it will always be very scary. So having this kind of clarity and understanding will make your transition a lot easier and smoother. Yeah, that's all I have for me. Bryan?
Oh, my takeaway is very simple. Do reach out to us. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. If in any career you are in or intend to pursue, it should be passionate for you to do. Proud of what you're doing and happy doing it. So the rewards must or probably be above your comfort living expenses. Then you'll be fine and will have a good career journey ahead. So, but for our career, with the right effort, commitment, and hard work, right, you will be well rewarded with job satisfactions and also on the income. For the details of the income, you can reach out to us. We will share with you directly. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much to our panelists for your openness to share, not on your income, but everything else. Okay, so I would like to thank our three fabulous speakers, and a huge thank you to everyone who stayed throughout the entire session. If you enjoyed the session like that, feel free to scan the QR code on the screen to connect, to really follow us and give us a thumbs up on our Facebook page. Yes. Okay, so once again, this is Jasmine, and good night, everyone. Bye.